Kajai Stokes' freshman season will end in the college football playoff as him and the Tulane Green Wave head to the University of Tennessee to face off against the Vols. And following our playoff run, we'll go through the entirety of KJ's sophomore season. It's been a really successful true freshman campaign for Kajai Stokes, who has helped lead this Tulane team to a 10-3 record in the college football playoff, but it's not going to be easy. Facing off against Heisman-winning quarterback Deuce Knight and his number one target, Mike Matthews, who finished in second place. It was certainly not an easy season for us, but our defense was dominant, largely because of the impact of Kajai Stokes, who quickly has become one of the better linebackers in the country. We jumped Boise State during the conference championship week, a big surprise, helping us make the playoff. Stokes sits at 85 tackles, 20 for a loss, and 6 sacks. The team has used him a little bit more as a rusher to go along with, obviously, the Mike linebacker, and it seems like his versatility has really helped this defense, although we've got a very talented group overall. I think it's fair to say we're no longer in Tulane, Louisiana. The stakes have been upped for our Green Wave. We're playing some SEC football. We're the heavy underdogs, not just in this game, but if we do, by the grace of God, end up winning, we'll be heavy underdogs the entire playoff run. We're not supposed to be here. We don't match up with these other teams. Screw that. Let's shock the world. Let's make a run. So we will start on defense. Knight looks to throw it up the middle. Good grab and a good first down. We know this kid is really impressive. A redshirt freshman transfer from Auburn as Stokes misses the early tackle on Peyton Lewis, who gains around 5. Looking to send the blitz. Knight dances around, gets out of it. And there goes Deuce Knight inside the 15-yard line. A gain of 26. He can really scramble. They're going to take us out of the game nearing the red zone. Tennessee would have to settle for a field goal. And it is a 3-0 ball game here late in the first. Not much going for Stokes individually as it's a screen for Lewis with a big gain. Stokes amongst the crowd of defenders to finish him off. And they'll give us credit for the tackle, which is weird. I definitely did not tackle him. Oh my goodness, ankles! A crossover by Peyton Lewis, who got injured after the play. That was filthy. He had Kajai Stokes flying, doing his best Brandon Knight impersonation. Just over 10 seconds now in the first quarter. Looks like Knight wanted to dump it off to the running back. Instead, he'll go for his receiver. That's our good friend Chris Brazzell from the Broncos franchise. To wrap up the first quarter, it has been pretty one-sided so far. The offense has 12 yards. Knight, meanwhile, up the middle, takes a shot at the end of the play. Stokes initiating the contact as he has injured the Heisman Trophy winner. Deuce Knight is banged up. That is the last thing that this Tennessee team needs. Their top signal caller, who's had an unbelievable season. So they'll have to resort to the backup, Kenny Minchie, who hands it off to Peyton Lewis. In for a touchdown, and the Vols add to the lead. Although it's not all doom and gloom, the Vols did miss the extra point. We ended up scoring a field goal on our next drive, so at least we got some points. At least the offense is awake, I guess. We have not had a very good game individually. D+ teammate grade as we help with the tackle there on Lewis, starting to get more active in the run game. 4 minutes to go in the first half. Deuce Knight is back in as he throws it away. A stop defensively, and Tulane will bring the offense back on the field, who would do absolutely nothing. I think they actually turned the ball over because Tennessee's got this great field position. Oh my goodness, what a hit! Peyton Lewis gets sent to the shadow realm by KJ, not before getting the first down. Knight slides right in front of him. KJ was going for blood. He injured him earlier. Wanted to injure him again almost. As Knight, Superman dives into the end zone for a score. It has been fully Tennessee's game in the first half. The Volunteers in control as they would make it 16-3 following the touchdown. 2-minute drill for our offense. We've got to score. I mean, we cannot dig ourselves out of this big of a hole. And we do score, making it 16-10 late in the half. Short throw for the running back. Lewis gets by Stokes. We wanted to go for the big hit. Yeah, we helped out with the tackle at the end, but we could have made a better play there. The Green Wave is still in the game, though. 16-10. We're in it. Both teams running the ball really well. Peyton Lewis has been effective for Tennessee. Deuce Knight scrambling around. And then for us, Dante Dowdell is really carrying the load for the offense. We haven't really been able to throw the ball, but Dowdell's been great on the ground. Stokes misses Lewis again, is still there to help late, and Lewis is dinged up once more. Stokes was not injuring people like this throughout the regular season. This is certainly a little bit of a surprise. 3 to go in the third. That one is hauled in. Not going to be enough for the first down. The Tulane defense gets another stop. We can theoretically take the lead, although we would not because our offense is useless. And now Tennessee with another chance to make it a 2-score game. Then to start the fourth quarter, they are certainly driving in the red zone. Knight scrambles around, ran for a touchdown earlier, and will run for another. Deuce Knight, the Heisman Trophy winner, his second score at the game, and the Vols make it 23-10. We would not score. Actually, I think we turned the ball over again. They've got this great field position. Stokes leads a big hit on the new running back who is in for Lewis. Our coach trust grade is at a D-, though. I think that's more so because the team defense just hasn't really been good. Not that Stokes has had some great game. That one is broken up, though, in and out of the hands of Brazel. Defense gets a stop. Offense, we need a score, and we need one now. Following the Tennessee field goal, we would get nothing. We held the ball for like 30 seconds. So we really need a momentum spark fast. How about that? It's intercepted by Ashton Stamps off of the crossbody throw by Knight. Stamps all the way down the field, nearing the 30, where he's tracked down by Chris Brazel. The defense gives the offense a chance. We've got to score here. The good news is we do get a touchdown. The bad news is we missed the 2-point conversion, so it's still a 2-score lead. Nearing the 2-minute mark, we're trying to get some stops on the ground. Not looking good. Tulane hoping for a miracle. Following the 2-minute timeout, back to the ground. Big play behind the line of scrimmage. Stokes helps finish it off. We're going to use a timeout as that leaves us with a pivotal third down. Our playoff hopes on the line here in our freshman season. Knight looks to throw it. Knight looking for the tight end. It is caught, and he does not get the first down. So the defense gets off the field, and now our offense has to score fast. Unfortunately, it does not happen, and the dream is over. Tennessee defeats Tulane in the first round of the playoffs, 26-16. We kept the game somewhat within reach. It was fairly competitive. We didn't get blown out per se, but unfortunately we do not win a game here in the playoff either. We held Deuce Knight as a passer. I mean, he certainly did not have his best game, but both him and Lewis very effective on the ground. Dante Dowdell was great for us. Caden Simonza, not so much. He completed 38% of his throws. Stokes has 8 tackles in a TFL. I really don't think he had that great of a game individually. Had some misses in coverage, had a couple missed tackles. We could have been better out there. We've got some work to do, but overall a very positive freshman year. 93 tackles, 21 for a loss, 6 sacks, and a scoop and score in our first game. So now we've got a decision to make with the transfer portal. There's a lot of schools who are interested in us. We could start at some really high-level programs like Clemson. We could also walk on at the Temples and UTSAs of the world. But we had a really good thing going with Tulane this year. I loved playing on this defense, so we're going to ride it out with our guys. Georgia wins the national... I'm sorry, who is the head coach? What in the world? Dabo Swinney's at Georgia. So there you go. Georgia beats Michigan. Tennessee lost to Michigan in the second round, so they did not win after defeating us. We're not in the top 25. As for the Heisman watch, it's Sam Levitt at the top. Tavian St. Clair now at Oklahoma State. DeCorian Moore on the list. Love to see it. Sco Ducks. The roster looks a lot different. We were a very upperclassman-driven team. Caden Simmons is back, unfortunately. Dante Dowdell is gone, unfortunately. Now, we've got some new faces on the defense. Micah Strickland and Ryan Niblett coming in from the transfer portal, our 2 highest-rated players. Strickland is asking us if we can watch his dog. Yeah, sure. I like dogs. We have a few options on how we spend our day with the dog. We can groom him and then delete the evidence. Or we can take the dog to the park. That sounds pretty enjoyable. You lied to a girl about the dog and you get her number. Riz God alert. We've got a player on our hands. Give me some dap, twin. We are going to get an NIL opportunity with TGF Fitness, and we can pick a teammate as well. I'm going to choose Palanding Drame. for no other reason than he has a really cool name. So our season's getting off to a good start. We haven't even played yet. We'll start our campaign at home against UL Lafayette. We are headed to Georgia in week 4. The reigning national champions who start the year ranked number 1. May God help us all. We play another power conference school as well in Wake Forest, and then after that, we will go through our American athletic schedule. We're going to use some more of the skill points that we've been saving since the start of last year. It seemed like they used us a little bit more as a pass rusher, a blitzer, and even an edge rusher at times. So I'm going to focus on pass rushing along with power. I want to get stronger. I want to be more effective going after the quarterback, and that's going to be a bigger influence on our game. So our sophomore season starts at home against the University of Louisiana, which is where Micah Strickland, our new highly rated teammate whose dog we watched, and I rizzed up a woman because of it, that's his former school. That's where he came from. So a fun revenge opportunity for him against the Raging Cajuns. We lost a lot of talent. It's going to be an uphill battle for us to make another playoff run. But with your boy returning, along with some other familiar faces, DJ Pickett at corner, former 5-star, back on the defense for his junior season. Hopefully our campaign goes well as the corner, I think that's Pickett, completely misses the tackle, and they're able to get the first down. That's Ricky Collins at quarterback. He's been in a fefew different stops, LSU and Syracuse, now finds himself at Louisiana. We're already down 7-0. Things not going well to start. Collins is dicing up the defense early. This is obviously a new-look unit, but so far we are really struggling as we would allow another touchdown. But luckily the offense would respond, making it 14-7. I don't have a tackle yet. I've not been able to make any plays as I completely whiff on that one. We missed some tackles, especially early last year. I thought we cleaned that up, so not a great look to look like an idiot there. Collins down the field, another big-time throw. Our coverage was a little inconsistent last year, but we had some really good players. And again, the secondary is the strength of the team by rating, but so far they've been awfully blah. Collins misfires, though, on 3rd down, so at least we get the stop. I'm a little concerned about the offense, given that we had the same goofball at quarterback and a significant downgrade at running back. It's not just Dante Dowdell who's gone, but Jay Haynes as well, the transfer from Georgia Tech, I believe, who's also now in the NFL. Short passes caught, our opportunity to finally get a tackle. Took a while after nearly getting 100 last year. Now lining up with our hand in the dirt as an edge rusher. I'm hoping to be used a little more like this as we get thrown on our backside by the right tackle. Not our best rep, I will say. Honestly, one of our worst reps, to be honest. 18 seconds to go. Stokes up the middle, leads the pressure. Collins still makes a nice throw. And that'll certainly put them in field goal range. Are they going to give us a roughing the passer for that? I feel like we had some more egregious late hits last year that did not get called. I mean, we were in the backfield completely by the time he threw the ball. There wasn't much I could have done. An object in motion stays in motion. I can't just stop. As Collins and the Raging Cajuns finish off the drive with a touchdown. And for a team who made the playoff last year, being down by 3 scores at home against UL Lafayette is not a good look. Going into the second half, I know I've got to play better, and we're getting right to work with a quick tackle there, finishing off the play. Not before Louisiana is able to get the first down, though. Following play for the Raging Cajuns, who start with the ball here in the 3rd quarter. As if things can't get any worse for our season opener. Up the middle, another tackle by Stokes. He had some help, but once again, we were really the guy who was there to initiate it. Even though I'm playing a little better individually, it's not really doing much because they're still moving down the field pretty nicely. Collins with a dart. Bad coverage there. I think that was Niblett, our new addition from, I believe, Houston. He's transferred a couple different places as well in this series. Good pass rush rep. Defense ends up getting the stop. Can the offense potentially garner some momentum out of this? No, because Caden Samanza is bad. Louisiana gets it back. It's 27-7 after scoring a field goal as Stokes leads the way. They'll give us credit for the full tackle there, which is weird. I definitely was not the only player to tackle him. UL Lafayette would score another field goal, making it 30-7. Still in the 3rd. I get flattened again, but we do get the interception, and we'll have excellent field position. This could be our opportunity to try to at least make this game competitive going into the 4th quarter, trailing 30-7. Luckily, we did score a touchdown, but we missed the 2-point conversion, so it remains a 3-score game. Helping out with the tackle again. They're definitely playing better in the second half, but overall just a rough season opener. That was really the only noteworthy play in the fourth quarter, losing 30-13. Ouch. This team looks quite a bit worse than last year. I had 5 tackles, none for a loss, no sacks, no highlight plays. We did lose our first game last year, if you remember, but that was to a Duke team who was ranked in the top 10, coming off a playoff spot, on the road in double overtime. This is a lot worse, and we have to play Georgia in 3 weeks. Slab's Steakhouse is going to offer us an NIL opportunity. My teammates will love the free food. That is a crazy stray. I'm calling my teammates fat, apparently. Now we're headed on the road for a rivalry game against Southern Miss, and after our embarrassing season opener against in-state foe Louisiana, I mean, it can't really get worse, can it? We've certainly got to play better, and hopefully we can right the ship. An 0-2 start with Georgia and Wake Forest coming up on the schedule would be pretty disastrous. On second down, Stokes in the backfield will get credit with the tackle for loss after not getting any a week ago. We had plenty of TFLs as a freshman, but could not really find the backfield against Louisiana. On third down, quarterback looks to throw it. Solid coverage by Stokes. Are they going to get the... Oh my goodness, he juked out both defenders. Pickett and Stokes are not able to bring him down, and they get the first. I mean, come on. One of you guys has to bring him down. That is a bad look. Spin move gets by Stokes again, although we were able to get a hand on him at least, stopping his speed and helping finish off the play. Stokes there again, another assisted tackle. We've been busy early in this game with 3 early tackles. There's another one, and it will stop Duke Clark from getting the first down. Really solid opening drive, minus getting our ankles snatched. Now it's 4th and 1, lined up as an edge rusher on this play, and we get the sack. The other side of the line, bursting quickly. The Tulane defense is able to get off the field. Will the offense score? They do. I don't believe it. 7-0. Nice spin move. Stokes there with yet another tackle. That's 5 in the first quarter after only getting 5 all of last week against Louisiana. We're starting to hit our stride. Last year, remember, we started slow and picked it up. That was not a very good play defensively. The quarterback walked into the end zone. Luke Moga, Oregon legend, ties the game up at 7. Our offense would do nothing as Southern Miss gets it back, and it's intercepted. We've got some playmakers in the secondary. We forced a lot of turnovers last year. We get one here in the second quarter off of Moga. Will the offense score? They do. We're having a pretty solid game on that side of the ball. 14-7. Luke Moga floats it up, and it is caught! Oh my goodness, what a catch. That is an unbelievable play, flipping his body around midair. Not much we can do there other than tip our cap. That was pretty sick. We've got 5 or 6 guys up front ready to rush as Stokes is there to help with the TFL. 6th of the game. I think we've got at least 2 tackles for loss, maybe more at this point. Southern Miss is in no rush. They are understandably letting some clock go as Stokes is there with another tackle, a solo one that time, his 7th of the game. Now a 3rd and goal. Southern Miss decided to use a timeout there. I would have just probably continued to try to chew some clock. Moga under pressure. He is sacked. 3rd of the first half for Tulane, and we will hold on to the lead going into the 3rd quarter as they ended up missing the field goal. Moga does not get much there. Stokes helping with the hit. Stokes again bringing down Moga himself. Another TFL. Stokes now misses the tackle completely. And the running back takes it all the way for a house call. That was not pretty. Especially in a game where we've done a great job of tackling. Missing the angle there. Southern Miss ties it at 14. Braylon McReynolds makes a great play. Now they've got us out wide in what looks like zone coverage as Moga is going to be sacked again. This pass rush was relentless last year. I would like to think I'm certainly a part of that. And they've been relentless again this year, even though I don't have any sacks. Looking to change that at some point. There you go! Stokes in the backfield with the sack. 5th of the game for Tulane. Praying to the Lords as he finally was in the backfield to make a play. that coach trust grade all the way up to A-, a lot higher than it was against Tennessee. We're also nearing the double-digit tackle mark. Moga floats it up, incomplete. So the defense is able to get the stop, and the offense, maybe get something going. We started the game off strong. We've slowed down, and no, of course not. We might fall to 0-2. Not if we keep getting all these sacks. We were not able to on that play, but the defense does get the stop. Mikey Beck over 100 yards, though. Another chance for the offense. They do score. Southern Miss adds a field goal as well, so it's 21-17, 2.5 to go. Moga looking to lead a game-winning drive, but he can't do it if his line won't block. Another sack for the defense. That's 6, and that'll probably bring us to the 2-minute warning. Stokes sitting at 9 tackles on the day, sending more pressure. McReynolds with a solid gain on 3rd down, bringing Southern Miss back to the original line of scrimmage, and they're going to have to go for it here on 4th and 10 with 1:20 left to play. Moga, ball by himself in the backfield. We're lined up as a defensive tackle as he's hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. Tulane wins their first game of the year, 21-17, with a really solid showing by Kajai Stokes, who had 9 tackles, multiple in the backfield, at least 3 or 4, along with a sack as well. Much better than our opener. The defense as a whole was a lot better. We sent so much pressure. I still have my questions about the offense, especially without Dante Dowdell, who's really the only positive from the offense last year. But we had a great game individually. 9 tackles, 4 for a loss to go along with the sack. So that'll bring our record up to 1-1 as we get set for back-to-back games against power conference opponents, starting on the road against Wake Forest, which should be an interesting game. I don't think either one of us is that much better than the other. Hey, Stokes, just wanted to let you know that the entire coaching staff is really pleased with you lately. Love to see it. Coach trust going up. The Demon Deacons 2-0 so far this year. They're off to a good start. Not going to be easy on the road in an ACC environment. Looks like a packed house here. We'll see if we can get a power conference win right in front of our game against Georgia, which will obviously be a lot easier said than done. Although Georgia's already lost a game, interestingly, this year. So we're going to hop in late in the first quarter. Wake Forest moving down the field pretty nicely. Looking to take the lead. Stokes with a big tackle there, nearing the goal line. Grayson Wilson, the quarterback for the Deeks, as it is 2nd and goal. Very next play. Wilson looks to throw it, trying to cover our zone. On the run, what a pass! In the back of the end zone, caught for a score. The booth would review it, but the receiver was able to drag a foot in. As it's 14-3, we are not looking too hot late in the first half. It's been a really quiet game for us individually. Up the middle, Stokes there to help finish off the play. Well, Wake Forest is moving it nicely, calling the timeout, trying to add to the lead before the end of the first half. Time is not on their side, though. 14 seconds left. They still have 2 timeouts. Wilson under pressure, hurls it up, double coverage, and it is broken up. I don't really think they're in field goal range quite yet. It'd be a 52-yarder, so they're going to need another nice play. And not that! A sack for the Green Wave, and with 2 seconds left, they're not going to be able to do anything. So we hold them off the board, but still some work to do. Trailing by 11. Our offense has not played very well in this game. 14-3 going into the third. Wake Forest starts with the ball as we get another sack. Elvit Narine brings him down. Again, I would like to think my coverage helped lead to the sack. Maybe I'm just biased. I don't know. 3rd down now. Wilson looks to throw it. Stokes in the backfield helping lead the pressure, but they still end up getting the first down. This defense does allow a handful of untimely 3rd down conversions, but we're still very much in the game. 14-9. Stokes with the TFL on the read option. So we get off the field. Defense is playing great here in the second half. Offense with a chance to take the lead. Would they here? Biggest drive of the season? We do. We didn't get the 2-point conversion, but we scored a touchdown. So we're up by 1, a little over 3 minutes to play. Looking to, I guess, pull off the upset. I mean, are they really better than us? I'm not sure. Stokes running all around with this lineman as that one is caught for a first down and then some off the broken tackle. Very good play after the catch. All Wake Forest would need is a field goal to take the lead, and we've got to be mindful of the clock here as well, nearing the 2-minute mark. Stokes looking to make a play in the backfield, but the running back gets the first down past the 30. I think it's fair to say they're in field goal range now, and if they're smart, they'll choose some clock. We'll see what the plan is for Wake Forest. On third down, Wilson looks to throw it, hurls it up down the field. It's picked off! The defense comes down with the turnover. That's Micah Strickland. He's got that dog in him, just like how, we had that dog in us when we took his dog to the park and rizzed up the ladies. Tulane gets the win in Boone, North Carolina, 15-14 against Wake Forest. Huge confidence win for us. That pushes us up to 2-1. Only 4 tackles and 1 for a loss. Not our best individual day, but a win is a win. One of your first big tests of the year in economics classes coming this week. I kind of think, as I mentioned in the last episode, that using the 2 points for studying is probably the best because we're not overdoing it, but, we're still studying. So Georgia lost to Florida State, who's number 2, and then they barely beat Louisville. They've got a young team, new quarterback, new running back. Maybe we can catch them off guard a little bit. Who knows? Going to continue to upgrade the pass rush. They've used us as an edge rusher a lot. I know I was very on board of the idea of moving all around the defense, and I really liked how we got to be very versatile at the end of last season. But I feel like they've begun to use us as an edge rusher a little bit too much at this point. I'm 220 pounds, not 260. I am a linebacker, not a defensive lineman. I like the idea of being this versatile Swiss Army knife, not even really a Mike linebacker, but more of like a strong side backer who can match up with tight ends, who can match up in the middle of the field, who can be used as an edge rusher. But I don't want to be a regular defensive lineman, especially against this offensive line who's got these 350-pound behemoths. Up the middle, already an early first down for Devon Horn. Georgia's leading 7-0 quickly. This right tackle is so big. Stokes off the blitz, untouched. Into the backfield, a big hit on the Georgia quarterback. But as I was saying earlier, these offensive linemen are gigantic. Georgia's starting right tackle may very well have eaten the right tackle who we were matched up with last week. He is that big. 10-0 now for the Dogs. Stokes again in the backfield. Another tackle for loss. So individually, we're hanging with the big boys. The rest of the team, not so much. Trailing by double digits early as we help with another tackle for loss. That's 3. Problem is Georgia would march all the way down the field inside the 10-yard line, looking to make it 17-0 early. Stokes wins the rep against the right tackle, chasing behind the quarterback Henderson, who's just too fast. Scrambles it in for a touchdown. When you're playing against teams like Georgia, the quarterback is as fast as the fastest guys on the defense. It's not like we're playing against Wake Forest. 17-0 now late in the second quarter. Henderson goes deep down the field, and it's intercepted. I think his name is Ben Henderson. He's a redshirt freshman, so he's a young, inexperienced guy. You see that here with the interception and the struggles early in the year against Florida State. But this guy can clearly move. Look at the clock, though. There's 3 seconds left, and they're not going to have enough time to run another play. So Georgia held off the board here in the red zone, but otherwise a really good first half for the Dogs, who lead at 17-0. They're averaging around 8 yards per play. I don't even know if we have 8 yards total. We got to start with the ball in the second half and turned it over immediately. So Georgia's in the red zone now looking to add to the lead. Henderson looking deep. It is caught in for a touchdown. A quick drive for the Dogs. 24-0. Now 27-0. This game is not looking good for us, which, is it that big of a surprise? I don't really know. They're even double teaming us as it's intercepted. Another turnover at least. I love how these two 350-pound offensive linemen are doubling little 220-pound me. They're clearly threatened by my presence and aura. It helps that I was in the backfield a lot in the first quarter. 34-3, make it 41-3. I mean, at least we scored. They probably have most of their backups in the game, but hey, points. Under 4 minutes to go. Stokes has been quiet in the second half. He's there with a late tackle, but it is not going to matter. Georgia and Tulane would both score again, winning it 48-10. Ouch. They only do the My Impact graphic for the games that you don't do well. Why is that? I did have a sack and 3 TFLs, but I was very quiet in the second half, and obviously the whole team was pretty stinky. Did you see your last grade? You did pretty good on the test. Love to see it. We've got a genius and a Riz God in the house. We're 2-2 in non-conference play. Not ideal. We really needed to win that game against Louisiana because now we don't have much margin for error. Certainly not in the top 25. There's a lot of good teams in the American. And we will start off against the Memphis Tigers, who I'm pretty sure we shut out last year. So this is a team that we've played well against in the past, hoping that can be the case once more. The reigning American Athletic Champions get set for their first in-conference game of the year. We've obviously got to bounce back. We lost to Georgia by 38 points a week ago, which is a lot. Memphis already leads 3-0. Stokes in the backfield, another sack. We've done a really good job of getting off the line super quick and getting some of these unblocked sacks. Yeah, maybe they're not impressive pass rush wins, but we've got great get-off, great quickness off the edge. Who is this running back, and why will he not be tackled? These guys have damn Marshawn Lynch on their team. Stokes there to help out with the tackle in run support off of Ashton Hayes, the transfer, I believe, from Rice. With 50 seconds left in the first half, defense sends pressure. They get the sack, but Memphis would score again. 13-0 now into the third quarter. I would have hoped after such a bad loss against Georgia we wouldn't lay a complete stinker, but here we are. Stokes in the backfield. I think they'll give us half a sack on that play, even though we didn't lead the way. We were certainly there. Bringing down the quarterback, Josh Faison. Third down and long. Stokes with pressure, doubled again. Faison goes deep, and it is picked off. These corners allow a handful of big plays, but these guys have incredible ball skills. That's DJ Pickett who comes down with it. The offense is completely useless and did not score. Stokes launches himself into the quarterback. They'll give us credit for his sack. I think that was supposed to be a read option. So I'm not sure why they're giving us the sack, but hey, I'm not complaining. Still 13-0 as that one is broken up. Our defense has not had their best game, but at least we're letting our offense have a chance. The offense just is not scoring. Still nothing. Nearing the end of the third, Stokes with the tackle to wrap up the quarter. Clearly got some work to do. And what I find interesting is that we are outgaining them in terms of yards. They have -2 rushing yards and are averaging 2.6 yards per play. Yet we're the team who has not scored yet. Third down and 1 to start the fourth. It is caught. Stokes there leading the way with the tackle, but Faison and the Tigers do get the first down. 4.5 minutes to go, chewing some clock. Faison slides, so the defense gets the stop. They're probably going to force a field goal. Offense, I beg, we cannot keep losing games. We've already dropped 2. They would not score because they completely suck. 16-0, little over 2 to go. Stokes again. Another tackle for loss. We've gotten a lot here in the second half living in the backfield, but our individual performance and our A-plus coach trust grade isn't going to matter on the win column if the offense scores 0. Third down and 14. They're going to throw the ball, and we get another sack. This pass rush is doing everything they can, but it doesn't matter when you have complete idiots trying to score the ball on offense, as we would get shut out after we shut these guys out last year. Ball don't lie, I guess. Despite a 3-sack game. Finally, one of those graphics where we played well. Actually, it was 2.5 sacks, along with 4 TFLs and 7 tackles. Some ugly offensive stats. 1 for 10 on third down. Yikes. Not pretty. So we are now 2-3, under 500. Madison says, me and my friends are going to this thing this weekend. It does not start until 11:30, and you've got a game tomorrow. Screw it. Why not? Let's have a little fun. Let's live a little bit. We are going to lose -15 stamina because we did not sleep. But we would increase our brand and followers. Look, sleep is for the weak. I think we'll handle it. Don't know if you saw, but our forecast is showing about 50-50 chance of heavy rain. Okay, that's fine. I can deal with the rain. This is Chad. He's our partner for our Ancient Civilizations class presentation. I found a website where people have uploaded their old ones, and there's one for our topic. If not, I'm busy this week, so you're going to have to do it yourself. What could you be so busy with? I'm a Division I college football player. You probably just go bounce around the frat houses hitting your vape. I'll do it myself. It's not like I'm a busy college athlete or anything. I didn't want to take another risk there. I don't want to, potentially be academically ineligible for cheating. Elvit Narine is going to talk to us now. Wanted to catch up with you. A few of the guys are going to go to an extra workout. That sounds good. Although the problem is I don't know how we have any energy points left. We've had a very busy week, mainly doing Chad's dirty work. We're going to get another NIL opportunity, though, for refreshed wellness. I could gift it to my teammate. Sorry, Jean-Claude. I think I'm going to have to keep it for myself. We have no energy points left for this week. We used them all. Very busy going into this game against Navy. Maybe a little less time in the classroom and a little bit more time in the film room. Our team is 2-3. Remember, we lost 3 games last year and made the playoff. That seems like the absolute cutoff for being a group of 5 team. We cannot afford to lose 4 games. We lost to this Navy team a year ago. I would love to get some revenge. Navy's having a solid season, though, although Stokes is in the backfield quickly. We really struggled in the Navy game a year ago. We weren't quite ready for the triple option offense, so we have clearly come prepared with an early sack on the quarterback. This is definitely a game I had circled on the calendar, given our struggles individually against these guys last year, even aside from losing to them. So it's good to see that we've adjusted early, dealing with the triple option. Still wish we had some more dominant pass rush wins compared to these unblocked sacks, but hey, I'm not complaining. A sack is a sack. Quarterback keeps it. The entire defense is fooled, and this guy can move. Liam Zarka into the end zone for a touchdown. The naval salute. The midshipman on the board. Coach wasn't lying. We got heavy rain today, which I think goes to Navy's benefit, given that they're a triple option team who doesn't throw the ball much, and they certainly have an athlete at quarterback. We've scored 10 points over the last 2 weeks, so I was really surprised to see us get back-to-back touchdowns. Also interesting that they took us out of the game for so long, maybe because of the loss of stamina. Are we going to get credit for the sack? I guess they're going to give us half a sack there. Even though we have lost stamina and I guess are tired, we're not playing like it. I mean, we've had a dominant performance individually. We're in the 4th quarter, by the way. This game has flown by. We're up 21-7. Defense playing really well. Stokes nearly with another sack as Zarka is intercepted. And it looks like Tulane, after back-to-back bad losses, is going to come out of this game with a win. That's Pickett again with the pick, living up to his name, holding the turnover beads. So we win the game. We're 3-3 at the halfway point of the regular season. Defense played well. Offense was better. Not great, but for their standards, pretty good. We'll take what we can get with these goofy goobers. 4 tackles, 3 for a loss, and a sack and a half. Very quiet second half, though. Joint Tech will offer us an NIL opportunity. I'm going to say yes. It'll help with our shoulder wear and tear. Not that I think that's some big issue at this point, but could be good down the line as we get older and our body, gets older and creakier. Now we're going to play against UAB. The Blazers are having a really strong season, one of the better teams within the conference. So this could prove to be a tough one in Birmingham, Alabama. UAB lost so many aura points by changing their logo from the dragon to just the letters. At least their helmet still has the dragon, and Stokes is in the backfield with a sack. I've noticed that Stokes gets a lot of his sacks early in games in the first quarter. He starts games off well, which is really ironic because in the Warriors series, he does not start games off well. He's so bad in the first quarter, yet here he's playing really well, sending pressure, leading to an altered throw and a stop. Still scoreless, though. Our offense is still not very good. QB looks to throw it. Stokes, good coverage. It's picked off. So many playmakers on the defense. I think that was the linebacker, Jean-Claude Joseph III. What a name. We did not score off the turnover. Surprise, surprise. That brings us into the second quarter. What a hit. We saw our avenue to give the linebacker a boom. Flatten him on his back. And that's exactly what we do. Under 5 minutes to go. Another sack. The pass rush. Too much for UAB. We've got too many playmakers on this defense. It's so much fun playing with good players. Up the middle, nearly intercepted. Instead, look at all this room for the receiver. There aren't any safeties deep. That ball was underthrown a little bit. We would have gotten a pick. Instead, it's a touchdown for UAB. Quite the stark difference. The Blazers add to the lead as it's now 10-0. Our offense still not scoring to the surprise of no one. Can we, like, replace the entire offense and just keep the guys we've got on defense? Maybe fire the offensive coordinator? I don't know. Under a minute in the first half. Defense gets a stop there on third down. Good run defense by the fellas. Offense, we need some points. We can't really afford to lose a fourth game and fall this far behind in the conference. Not only do they not score, but they'll give UAB the ball back with 20 seconds. And look at the field position. So clearly we turned it over again. Defense gets a sack, though. We'll see if we can at least hold UAB to a field goal. 2nd and goal. Looking to throw it up the middle. It's caught into the end zone for a touchdown. The defense isn't even having their best game, although I can't really blame us for this one because they started inside, I think, the 10-yard line. Offense finally scores, even if it's just a field goal. Down by 14 points. Good tackle on the running back, Marquise Collins. 30 to go in the third. A big hit in the backfield. Wasn't able to finish the play. I think they're going to give us the whole sack. Even though we really shouldn't have gotten it, but not complaining. Now into the fourth quarter, under 6 to go. Trailing by 2 possessions. Up the middle. Stokes tries to catch up to the running back. He does not. Look at all this room. Inside the 10-yard line, a huge run for UAB. They have a chance to make it a 3-score game and basically ice it. And that is exactly what they're going to do. A touchdown for the Blazers, 24-3. A rough showing for the Green Wave. We will fall back under 500. I mean, at least we scored a touchdown at the end. I mean, it didn't do anything in terms of winning the game, but we're able to pad our stats a little bit. Another 2-sack outing for Stokes, but it does not matter because we are the inverse of, I guess, the Bengals. I mean, it's kind of hard to win games when you don't score. 39% completion percentage for Caden Simonza. Defense was not great, but it's not like we were bad. 3 TFLs, a sack and a half. We can now audible plays. Seems like we're really becoming one of the leaders, the green dot of the defense. We're going to talk with Elite Narine, who lives up to his name. He's a really good player. I think we're going to go to the film room with him because, well, clearly our team needs some work. We are 3-4. Your midterm grades are in a D+, a D- twice, and an F. Oh, my God. I've been on top of the studying, too, so that is really disappointing. We are actually kind of close to being academically ineligible. Just a 2.2 GPA. Yikes. Well, as a wise man once said, I ain't come here to play school, even though I have studied a lot, and I'm still not doing good. So maybe we're just a complete idiot. Or maybe we just can't apply ourselves. That's probably the nicer way to put it. Well, after playing Navy just a couple of weeks ago, we'll be playing against Army, the Black Knights. So another triple option team. We played well against Navy earlier in the year. Obviously, it's a similar offense. I feel like we very clearly led the tackle there. I don't know why they didn't give that one to us, but okay. QB keeps it. Stokes misses the hit. Fumble, ball on the ground. It's picked up by Army. One man to beat, and he gets by Stokes. A scoop and score for the offense. What hurts the most about that is, at first, I thought I had picked up the ball because I had felt my controller rumble. But then I saw the Army guy running the other way, and I realized I did not pick it up. As it's 7-3. Good tackle there. 33 seconds left in the second quarter. Running back to the outside does not get much. Another good showing from the defense. And another stinker out of the offense. Who's surprised? 7-6 now. We are within 1. 3rd and 14. Hit as he throws. It's incomplete. So the defense gets another stop. Offense with a touchdown and a 2. There we go. 14-7. Late pitch. Stokes with an opportunity to get the tackle, and he does. It's been a pretty quiet game for us individually, though. 1 assisted tackle. I think a couple solos. Boom! There's a big hit. We saw our chance, and we took it. We've had a lot of big hits since we came here to Tulane. How have I not forced a fumble? Wanted to go for the hit stick. Had to make sure at least I got the tackle. As we are up 17-7. By the way, the offense is playing better. Still not great, but better. Another sack. The pass rush continuing to ball. Just over 3 minutes to go in the fourth. 3rd down and long. It is intercepted. DJ Pickett is a ball hawk. Can we get him in the end zone? Not quite. But the Tulane defense gets a turnover. We'll get the ball in the red zone up by 10 late in the game. We're in a good spot to potentially get the win. We would score the touchdown. It's 24-17. Around 100 seconds to go as that one is caught. Stokes tries to help finish off the play. They're not going to credit us again, even though I was the one who pushed him out of bounds. The quarterback, McMillan, who I believe is Ted McMillan's brother, is injured. So the backup is in as he delivers a beauty on 4th down into the hands of Gage Carney. Minute and a half to go for Army, hoping for... I mean, I don't think they can really come back, but hoping to make this game a little bit closer. Stokes with the pressure, nearly gets the sack. We clearly won the rep, but we just, blatantly missed the quarterback. How does that happen? Under 35 seconds to go. Looking to still get that sack. Running back with a chip block as it's caught in the end zone for a touchdown. This backup quarterback can sling it. Army, after the touchdown, would decide to go for... What is their mascot? Is that a horse? I did not know Army had a horse mascot. Why? Anyway, Army's going for 2. I don't really know why. It would still be a 2-score game regardless as we end up getting the sack and we end up getting the win. 24-13. Good to see us back on the win column after, what's been an up and down past few weeks as the gang is able to get by the Black Knights. Stokes had a solid game, I would say. Nothing spectacular, but not horrible either. 4 tackles, a couple for a loss. Not one of our better, more dominant outings. We had a bye week in Week 9. That gets us set here for Week 10 with Dwayne Tavares. Did the construction wake you up this morning? They are drilling at 7 a.m. That's horrible. Why 7? Does whoever planned around that timing have no compassion for the kids trying to sleep? Flannel Barn is going to give us a really good offer. We're going to get some skill points. We're going to get a bunch of followers. That is an easy yes. We're 4-4 with 4 games to go. We're in 6th place in the conference. Looks like a major uphill battle if we want to make the conference championship. Now we're having a great year, though. Tackles are down because we're being used more as an edge rusher, but we have 20 TFLs, 7.5 sacks, and because of our great season, we're going to get recognized nationally, leading the team in those categories. We lead the conference in the categories as well. We're not in the Chuck Bednarik list for the best defensive player. I was hoping maybe I would see us there. But we are on the list for the Dick Butkus Award as the best linebacker, currently sitting in 9th, which is pretty cool. As for our team's bowl projection, not slated to make the playoff, currently the Military Bowl against 4-4 Cal on Christmas Eve. So next up, we are headed to Tulsa to play against the Golden Hurricane. We've got 3 straight road games, followed by our final game of the year for Senior Day, I believe, against Rice. A night game here in Tulsa, Oklahoma, as Stokes is in the backfield. These read option fakes are not fooling me whatsoever. Stokes clearly in the film room, clearly knows how to identify these plays as he's in for the sack, I believe now 8.5 on the year. First place, not just on the team, but in the American Conference. These big schools and maybe the NFL starting to take notice as Stokes is there with another tackle. Currently, we lead the game 7-3 late in the first half. Love seeing the offense, not be completely useless. Long pass is intercepted. Another turnover for the defense. There's a big block. I was worried I was going to run into him. I had to time that perfectly, and luckily I did. But a good play there by the defense to force the turnover. We would score off of it, adding to the lead. Stokes is doubled, gets out of the double, and is in for the sack. What a play. We had 2 offensive linemen all up in our face, and it does not matter. Maybe the coaching staff was cooking with the idea of making me a regular edge rusher. I was against it at first, but I'm having a more productive pass rushing season than anyone in the conference. So maybe these coaches were onto something by having me be an edge rusher for what feels like at least 50% of these snaps. So these guys deserve a lot of credit for figuring out how to use me really well. Still 10-3 in the third. Defense having another phenomenal performance. Stokes looking for potentially a 3rd sack. Nearly got in the backfield there, but our teammate beats us to bring him down. 13-3 now into the 4th quarter. We'll see if we can hold this multi-possession lead. On the option, runs into his lineman, and then he runs into Gajai Stokes, who brings him down. Yet another tackle for loss for KJ, who continues to live in the backfield. Pretty much half of our tackles this year have been for a loss, which is really impressive. Deep shot is broken up. Good play in the secondary, I believe, by Pickett. That'll lead to a punt. A touchdown would ice the game, and that's exactly what we get. 20-3. Another interception for the defense. We've got a chance to potentially return this. Trying to outrun the offensive lineman. He's unable to. Good tackle. Not going to matter, though. Great showing defensively. Really, really good win. The offense had one of their better games of the year. Defense was good. I was good individually with multiple sacks, a few TFLs. Really, really good team win. Tulane now on a win streak. We're 5-4. We're one game away from clinching a bowl. At least would love to make a bowl game to try to salvage what has been a disappointing season for the team. Not living up to expectations after our playoff run last year. Rough day for Dorian Patterson, the Tulsa quarterback. He was picked off 3 times. Simonza only completed 40% of his throws. Stokes with 6 tackles, 3 for a loss, 2 sacks. We've been pleased with how you've been doing lately. You're setting a great example for the other players. Much appreciated, Coach, as our coach trust continues to go up. We have a team meeting this Wednesday. We're talking about time management. Can we talk about sleeping as well? I haven't slept very well this year. Hermes Athletics, +3 stamina, +3 acceleration with this NIL boost. I am certainly in for that. You have a big test in your management course. I'm going to do the 2 points for studying once again with our academic advisor. Clearly, we have to focus on the grades after those horrible midterms as we get set to play against 0-9 UTSA. I'm going to put some more points into quickness because we're very close to 94 acceleration, which would give us gold robber, which helps our movement and zone coverage. The one issue with Stokes is that I feel like we're a little clunky in coverage. It feels like we're kind of running in quicksand when we're near the ball. So I'm going to upgrade my pass coverage ratings as well, also putting a boost into run stopping. And now we only have 2 skill points, so we've used all of the points that we had at the start of the series up to an 87 overall. It has not been a good year for the Road Runners of UTSA. These guys are 0-9, but they have a big stadium and they have cool uniforms, which I guess is a plus. That's really all they have going for them this year. As long as we can beat this winless team, we will be able to make a bowl game. So hopefully we can get the job done, get win number 6, and at the very least, cement our spot in a bowl game. And hopefully we can beat these guys pretty easily. We haven't had many dominant wins. We did last week against Tulsa, but not many throughout the course of the year. Oh, here's our chance at a big play. Running back all the way near the 5-yard line as we're there with an assisted tackle for loss. On 3rd down now, trying to get into the backfield. Hit as he throws, as they're going to give us the assisted tackle there, which is odd because I definitely did not tackle the ball carrier. I hit the quarterback. That's a pressure. How's that a tackle? Still scoreless. Stokes with a big hit in zone coverage, even though I technically allowed the zone completion. I make up for it with a big tackle. Under pressure, sacked in the end zone for a safety. Fitting that the first points of the game are by the defense. The offense is going to get good field position out of it. They would take advantage as it's 9-3. Stokes with a clean opportunity for the sack, and we will get it. Another QB takedown against Cutler. I think his name is Grant Cutler. Any relations to Smokin' Jay by chance? Under a minute left in the first half. Cutler looks to throw it, dances around. Actually, an impressive play to get some yardage out of that, but we do get the 3rd down stop. More importantly, could they potentially add 3 points with a field goal there? They would. We would get a touchdown, though. 16-6 into the 3rd. Cutler under pressure. Stokes trying to make the play. We cannot, but the pressure by Stokes forces a throwaway. I feel like we should get more coach trust points for pressures that completely alter the play because those are almost just as big as a sack. Another interception. It's Joseph who picks it off. Can he break the edge, go all the way? Not quite, but he does get it to the 1. Another takeaway for the Tulane defense. Jean-Claude Joseph III. The turnover beads are back out, and we should be able to score a touchdown without much issue. I mean, if we can't punch it in from the 1, then that would be a pretty big problem. Luckily, our offense is not that useless as we do score. We're up 23-6 with 3 minutes to go in the 3rd. Taking care of, what is he doing? Is he pumping up the jam? Are they going to snap the ball, or is this guy just going to continue to air punch the ground? Let's take a little peek. Okay, seriously, what is he doing? Is he like doing like the fake chainsaw. That's got to be illegal. He's pretending he has a weapon. And that's a delay of game. What even was the point of that? It's easy to see how these guys are 0-9. I mean, I guess I'll take it. That is a weird penalty. Minute 40 to go in the third. Cutler looks to throw it. Under pressure. Brought down. Fourth sack of the game by the Tulane defense. It's Narine. That kid is really, really good. Not only has he tried to get close with us in those scenarios, but this kid can really play. So, shout out to him. Nearing the final play of the third on first down, up the middle. Stokes tries to get the hit, and he wraps him up. Great tackle on the running back, Max Guest, as that'll bring us to a fourth down here in the fourth quarter in a 17-point game. Up the middle. Yeah, that's bad. Cannot allow the receiver to make that catch. That one is on me. If we're a step ahead, I mean, for one thing, he probably doesn't throw the ball, but if he did throw the ball, it'd probably be a pick. Here's a big play. What a hit for KJ. Delivering the boom on the ball carrier. That was not a friendly hit. Under 5 minutes to go in the fourth. Quarterback Cutler is picked off. That should just about do it. Up by 17 points against 0-9, soon to be 0-10. UTSA. Another good win here for Tulane. We started the year 3-4. Since then, we've won 3 in a row. That's a rebound, baby. 6-4, headed to a bowl game at the very least. Even if we're not going to the playoff, at least we will be playing postseason football. 6 tackles, 2 for a loss, and only half a sack. Not our best, not our worst. Pretty solid. We'll talk with our advisor again. You did pretty well on your last test. Love to see it. We've got finals coming up, though, at the end of the regular season. Our next opponent can score points in a hurry, but our defense is elite. Let's get the win and stop Temple from getting 300 yards. Temple's having a nice year. 7-3, 4-2 in conference. We're 4-2 as well. Our chances of making the conference title are slim, but I think it's actually still, like, mathematically possible. That changes with a loss for both of these teams, given that we had the same record in conference. So we've got to play well here at the Link in Philadelphia, as that's going to be caught for a first down and plenty more. Down the field, Stokes tries to catch up all the way inside the red zone. Johnny Shepard, the former Rutgers quarterback, with the throw. And Temple looking to score early in this game. Shepard up the middle, gets blown up by Stokes. Now, unfortunately, they took us off the field for a little bit, and Temple scored 2 touchdowns. They lead 14-0 with the ball. So in our biggest game of the year, not only is the offense struggling, but the defense as well has not been very good, which is, well, not going to help us win the game. Stokes with a nice tackle, though. We've made a couple of nice plays so far, but, I mean, it hasn't been enough. It's now 17-0, and they had the ball at the 20. They have a chance to turn this into a blowout. Running back to the outside. He is in for a score. Temple domination. The Owls lead it 24-0. And in our biggest game of the year, the team has looked dreadful. Just dreadful. Stokes looking for another tackle. We'll get credited there with the assist. It's 27-0 with 5 seconds to go in the first half. I mean, what a disgrace. It cannot possibly get worse, right? Right? Tackle him, someone! We're down by 34 at the half to Temple. This is our biggest game of the year that we have to win. It's 34-0. And they start with the ball. Good tackle, but still, how does this happen? How is our team this incompetent? At least we're making some plays individually, but like, God damn, this is an awful look. This running back is balling. Detrell Jones, 8 for 101. Stokes in the backfield with a sack. I mean, I guess there's that. If we're looking for positives, he's pretty fired up about it, even though our team is down by 34. They ended up taking all of the starters out for the fourth quarter, which is probably a good thing. Temple did not score in the second half. And it did not matter because they were up 34-0 at the break. Offense gets shut out for a second time this year. And in our biggest game of the year, we get completely embarrassed. So much so that we pull our starters for the fourth quarter. Disgraceful. 417 yards to 100. 6 for 19 through the air. Stokes had 8 tackles, which led the team, a TFL, and a sack and a half. Not a pretty loss. Not a pretty loss is right, Coach. So we're 6-5, 4-3 in conference. Your GPA seems to be dropping. I've been studying. Well, I guess we're going to have to go in and study with the advisor. We're going to talk to her again. I understand you have a major project due in 2 weeks in your literature class. I'm just going to spend the 3 points. I don't want to be ineligible for our final games of the year. As we start at home against Rice, 7-4 overall, 5-2 in conference for senior day, rocking the black uniforms. And for Kajai Stokes, this could be his last home game at Tulane if he decides to enter the transfer portal in the offseason. I love our teammates on defense. I love the coaching staff. I loved how they've used us. But I want to keep our options open. So this may very well be our last regular season game and home game here if that's what we decide to do. The grass is not always greener, though. We're going to get credited for a tackle for loss, even though we were about 20 yards away from the play. Don't know why that is once again. Patrick Creighton up the middle. Tipped and intercepted. An unlucky play for Rice and a pick 6 for the defense. We scored for the first time in 2 weeks. It wasn't the offense who scored, which isn't that much of a surprise, but we scored. That'll make it 7-0. Rice would quickly, though, march down the field looking to tie the game. These guys are good. 7-4 overall, as I mentioned. Better record than us in conference as they do score into the end zone for a touchdown. They've got some good players on their offense. Maybe not as good as the running back we were introduced to that they have in the Virginia Tech dynasty, Cameron Christmas, who's a 94 overall junior. Stokes with another TFL, bringing down Dalen Alexander. Look at the score, 17-7. Here in the first half. Our offense is actually playing well. Oh my God, he got annihilated. What a hit on the quarterback. That was ruthless. Looks like it's going to be a pitch. On the option, another big hit. These defenders are flying around the backfield. I mean, it is so much fun to play with other good players. And we've got 10 other studs on this defense. Now into the second half. Stokes chases behind Creighton. He has taken a beating in the backfield today. I believe that is sack number 10 on the year for Kajai Stokes. That's awfully impressive for a linebacker, edge rusher, hybrid at 220 pounds, double-digit sacks after 6 last year. As Stokes gets another tackle there. It's been a good team performance so far. There's still plenty of game to go. I don't want to get too excited. I certainly don't want to count on the offense to ice it. Stokes there helping with another TFL. I feel like we could have made that play a little easier. That was more our teammates doing, but we got the arm tackle, I guess. Under a minute to go in the third, Rice is moving it pretty well. Creighton looks to throw it, scrambles around, has room to run, and he'll take it. Creighton inside the 5, inside the end zone. Rice is within 3. Hold on, partner, not so fast. This game ain't quite over. The Owls looking to make it interesting. Luckily, they would not. It was a very uneventful fourth quarter. We would score a late touchdown, and we would win the game. 24-14, and we will finish the year with a record of 7-5, getting set for our bowl game. 5 tackles, all of which were assisted, 4 for a loss and a half sack. So Kajai Stokes' regular season as a sophomore comes to a close. 69 tackles, nice. 30 for a loss, and 11 sacks. I miscounted. We were already in the double digits. Really, really impressive year, even though the team was very up and down, especially our mediocre offense. I still cannot get over that we lost to Temple 34-0. We're in 7th place in the conference, so obviously a conference championship appearance will not be happening. Your final exam results are in. You did very poorly. 3 Ds and an F. I studied! Unfortunately, EA decided to account for the fact that some people are just not naturally good test takers. Mazeo Bennett Jr. of Tennessee wins the Heisman. Stokes, first-team All-American. Now, we don't know if that's national or in conference. We got duped by that last year. Second-team All-American. That's probably national. We are headed to the Wasabi Fenway Bowl. We're going to Fenway Park to play against the Louisville Cardinals, who are 6-6. We have one common opponent with them. They lost to Georgia by 4. We lost to them by about 40. There you go. All NCAA second team. Really cool honor for KJ, who also makes the all-conference first team as well in the American. Final game of our sophomore season. We are going to Boston to play against Louisville. And as I mentioned earlier, with the possibility of entering the transfer portal, being an All-American nationally, all the big schools are going to want us. They're going to be knocking on the doorstep. We would be able to play just about anywhere we want to next year. So because of that, given those options and the fact that we at the very least will keep our options open, this could be the last game at Tulane. It'll be a tough decision given that we've got a good thing going here. We've got a really good rapport with the coaching staff. They know how to use us. I love playing on this defense. But maybe we are too big of a fish in a small pond. We'll see how this game goes, though. Trying to get one more win, running out with the team at Fenway Park against Louisville. Kind of fun playing in a baseball stadium, especially considering we just played against the Red Sox in the White Sox series 2 days ago. Stokes sending early pressure. That one is intercepted. An early turnover for the Tulane defense. The quarterback had to throw it because of the pressure by yours truly with 11 sacks on the season so far. Who knows? That number certainly could go up. I was skeptical about all the snaps at edge rusher earlier in the year, but as I kind of mentioned earlier, I give the coaching staff a ton of credit. It ended up being a great move, switching me off between edge rusher and linebacker. I still wish I had a little bit more snaps at linebacker, but we're a really good pass rusher. We've got really good pass rushers around us, as you can see there with the sack. Team currently leads 7-0, so the offense appears to have kind of shown up in Caden Simons' last game here. Thank God. Another sack for the defense as we're looking at a 3rd down and 23. Adams looks to throw it, and he is sacked in the end zone for a safety, and it's 9-0. Fitting that his name is Deuce Adams because his offensive line has laid a total deuce today. We added a field goal, making it 12-0. Good to see that the team has shown up here at the end of the year because sometimes teams aren't always so good during bowl week with other distractions. A lot of guys leaving. We haven't played in a month, but the guys are showing up. Another sack. That's like at least 5. Under 2 minutes to go now. Louisville in the red zone looking to add some points. Stokes looks to chase from behind as he joins the sack parade. Another one for the defense. His 12th of the year. That's a lot. Louisville would add a field goal, making it 12-3 in the second half. Running back up the middle. Fumble! And it's picked up by the defense. Kajai Stokes forces his first career fumble, and the Green Wave get the ball back. As good as we've been for 2 years, the one thing we have not done is create a turnover. We had the scoop and score in our very first game as a freshman, but we didn't create the turnover. We picked up the ball. This time we force out the fumble. No need for a review. Clear as day. We've had a lot of hard hits. I don't know how we haven't gotten a fumble before that. The offense capitalized off of the turnover, and then they scored again on the next drive, making it 25-3. Adams takes another shot. He is lucky he slid. Negative 54 rushing yards. That's what happens when your offensive line just does not block at all. I imagine Louisville will probably be going after a lot of big guys in the portal because Lord knows they need them. Another sack. That's 10 for the defense. I only have 1. I'm not even the one making all these plays. It's everybody else. Minute 40 to go in the third now for Louisville. Can we get another sack? Stokes with the pressure. Adams hurls it up, and it's caught. Tip your cap. That's one hell of a throw. With an edge rusher coming in your face, still able to make that pass. That's a really impressive play. So now Louisville's starting to move the ball a little bit, trying to make it a little closer, and that's not what's going to happen when you throw it to the other team. Another interception. Jean-Claude Joseph again. Still 25-3 into the fourth. Adams launches another rocket because why not? This time it is picked off. That's a 3rd interception for the defense. A late block from Stokes on Pickett, who gets another interception. How many does he have this year? That's got to be like 5 or 6. 34 seconds left in the quarter, and thus the game and the season. Our final play of the year, as they would end up taking us out after that play. We'll see if we get one more play or not here to wrap up our sophomore season. And they are going to put us back in. 3 seconds left, a 4th down for Louisville. Final play of the season. Who knows, could be our last play as a member of the Tulane Green Wave. Adams hit as he throws. How fitting. 25-3. What a great win to to end the year. This is going to give us a lot of momentum, and to see our team play this well in a bowl game, it definitely makes it more likely that we come back for a junior season, especially considering I think we're going to have a new quarterback. Thank the Lord. Extra plays increase, continuing to add coach trust, and that's another reason to stick around. We've just got such a good thing going with this coaching staff. They really trust us. I love playing for these guys. 72 tackles, 31 for a loss, 12 sacks, which does not lead the team. Elliot Narine had 16, including 3.5 in the game against Louisville. We finished with 11 total, negative 36 rushing yards for Deuce Adams, 3.5 for Narine, 2.5 for Cone. We only had 1. I mean, we didn't put up the big numbers, although we do have the fumble force, of course. So our sophomore season comes to a close with a record of 8-5. The team played well to finish the year, winning 5 of our last 6 games. Let's just not talk about the loss. Notre Dame beats Georgia in the national championship. The Dogs with Dabo do not repeat. UAB ended up making the playoff, a team who we played against this year, so the Group 5 representative, again, coming from the American Conference. They ended up getting blown out in the first round by Texas A&M, who ended up losing to the eventual champions. Let's look at our final stats here after our second season. 72 tackles, 31 for a loss, 12 sacks, 18 sacks on the career. I'll have to check what the school record for sacks is, because we very well could break it if we stick around, but that's the question. If. We can start anywhere we want, I believe, except for Georgia. They must not have liked the hit that we put on their quarterback earlier this year. Other than Georgia, we can play anywhere in the country. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Should we return to Tulane? We've got a good thing going with the program. We love the coaching staff. We love our teammates, at least on defense. But we could go to a bigger school, go to a bigger pond, and potentially compete for a national championship. What do you guys think we should do down below in the comments for our junior season? Make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you are new. Peace out.